In a world where local musicians and artists are unrated, underappreciated, unnoticed, battered, abused, and swept under the rug.
Living show to show without secure benefits like medieval jesters.
Run with the kittens.
You're actually listening to it right now. I played a song for my hamster that just died.
Class.
I lied.
Underplayed and underpaid.
Real local music.
Use what you have.
All the can rock stuff. And the can't rock stuff too.
Chuck went around.
We won't get into that.
That was a good thing.
Mondays at 6 p.m.
What was special to me? Really cool. Amazing. Incredible. Like, I need to rise up to this level.
Phenomenal.
Definitely incredible.
Probably the coolest.
Strong. You're a peopleaholic.
Oh.
Wow, you're killing me.
I'll try not to swear.
CFRU 93.3.
Wow, the food was
Delicious.
had a smorgasbord of awesomeness.
It's not your regular breakfast sausage.
I also ate some cocktail wieners and drank some melon liqueur one morning very early on the tour bus.
Welcome to another installment of Underplayed and Underpaid. It's Bryan McNeill, as I am with you every week. Whoa, I got to turn that down. It's Underplayed and Underpaid, and the format of the show is we like to promote local talent. If you're a musician or in a band or a comedian, you can contact me at bryancfru@gmail.com, or you can go to the Underplayed and Underpaid Facebook page, click a like on that, and keep in touch with everything that's going on. While I got your attention, go to musiclives.ca, and that's where you're going to find all the really cool listings of live music in Guelph, the Royal City. On today's program, we got a very special guest, Lars Classington.
Good evening, Guelph.
He was waiting for the applause.
Yes, yeah, sorry, I was waiting. I know that we can't see you and you can't see us, but
It's okay.
This is the first time you've ever heard my voice, Guelph, potentially, so feels good, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming on to the show. Well, I'll just get right into it. Lars Classington is hosting a Wednesdays starting at 8 p.m. I'm tripping over my words.
Pull yourself together. I know I'm an attractive man. He's a little flustered. He's looking at me.
Well, yeah, I'm used to big beards and smell of
Just
feet
slow
in
down.
here, and it smells like ginger.
Take a breath.
Okay, so
There. Nobody
Lars
be
Classington show,
frustrated.
stand-up, sketch, improv, musical comedy at District, second floor, Van Gozier. It's going to be a variety of things, and you also get free prizes. Well, you get prizes with your cover charge as well.
Yeah, there's going to be some sponsors, so there's always a little kickback. We'll give some coupons, some door prizes, but most importantly, people are going to have a fantastic time. It's a weekly comedy variety show. We're going to have full-time headliners that you might have seen at Just for Laughs, that you might have seen on CBC. You've seen them at comedy clubs across the country. Professional headliner booked. I'm the regular MC, and then I'm going to have always local opener up-and-comers, guys who may be having their first time on stage, to a guy that maybe does it part-time in his spare time sort of thing and hasn't quite taken the leap to professional comedy. So
Super cool. I also want to
amazing.
say a shout out to the people playing Magic and Dominoes. Well, they don't play Dominoes yet because I got them here. Everybody up at Rec Room Mondays at third floor Van Gozier. Thanks for tuning in because we're live. We're
Having a games party, boys. Yeah, get the D&D and the Magic out.
yeah, and the
Third
crib.
floor Nerd Fest. That's awesome.
So if you could introduce yourself to the listeners and tell them what it is that you do.
Ooh, I, Lars Classington, am a comedian and actor, writer, rock star, and lover.
How long have you been all of those things?
My whole life. Well, the last one, lover, maybe I was 5 years old when I really started getting into the groove of that. You know?
All right. So you're a late bloomer.
Yeah, exactly.
What made you decide to act and do comedy?
Really, ever since I was a little kid, I used to be a huge fan of Saturday Night Live, In Living Color, Kids in the Hall, Pee-wee's Playhouse, Mad TV, all those crazy kind of shows, and I was fascinated by them. And so I started a career in life insurance, which seems like the regular thing to do. Yeah, I worked 10 years as a life insurance sales manager running a branch, and then finally was like, wait a second, I don't think this is exactly what I should be doing with my life. So I pulled like a life 180 about 5 years ago, started hitting Yuck Yuck's amateur night open mics with the intention of getting into TV and film, moved to Toronto a couple years to do that. So I'm a full-time comic, stand-up, actor, and then, you ready for this, Brian? Then,
Please deliver.
When I came back, if you're wondering, well, how did you end up in Guelph? I did a show in Guelph last December, and I met my dream girl.
Oh.
And now I live here, and I got my dream girl and my dream career, and they're coming together. So really this whole thing's a love story, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone loves a love story, which is why you should come out to the show every Wednesday at District.
Yeah.
Did you see how I did that? That was smooth.
That was smooth. It's like you've
I
been
hope
here
she's
before.
listening right now. I'm one of the few people that it's a weird, like if my life was ever a movie and the love story portion was a movie, I met her at a show at Shakespeare's Arms. So technically, Brian, I fell in love in Shakespeare's Arms.
That's
poetic.
Jeez,
is the word.
I'm bursting.
You're crying right now. It's hard not to.
So what were your comedic influences then?
Oh, back in the day, a lot of Saturday Night Live guys, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, all the crazy guys, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, Pee Wee Herman. All those. More sketch comedy than stand-up comedy. Stand-up I kind of got into after, because I was never around stand-up. I grew up in Orillia, Ontario, and there's no stand-up shows locally, and I didn't really ever see it in Toronto. So I sort of missed stand-up as an influence until later on in life started to figure it out.
All right. Do you come from a theatrical family?
Yes. Yeah. I come from a family of superstars, and I might be the least of which. And when you see me and see how talented I am on stage, you're going to be like, it is crazy that guy has more talented family members. Both my brothers were in rock bands, did theater. My dad and my mom actually met. He was in like a 1950s trio that traveled around in suits singing, crooning. Like it was, he was in a trio of crooners. And he did a show in New York City, and my mom was in the crowd at that one. So we've got a long line of performance history.
This is pretty entertaining.
I
hope everybody at home is on the edge of their seats.
Light your fire. If you have a fireplace right now, light it. Grab yourself a nice glass of red wine or cognac or 50, whatever it is you're drinking at home right now.
Or chocolate milk, because we're not allowed to.
Oh, right. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. Drink chocolate milk.
Actually,
I
would definitely say do not drink chocolate milk. It's really not good for you. All these.
It is.
That's not the format of my show. I'm not allowed to talk about that. No. You know those commercials that say drink chocolate milk after workout. It gives you everything you need. No, it doesn't. It's ridiculous.
Because drink chocolate milk after every workout, because then we'll sell more chocolate milk.
Yes,
that's
exactly. Check out a documentary called Forks Over Knives if you have any gumption.
This is a great show. You're giving real life advice to people. Like, you're changing lives.
I try to slip some things in there.
I like this.
How did this gig come about, and how did you become the host?
Well, I thought of it as an idea in my brain, and it's actually been there a long time. And when I moved to Guelph, I wanted a regular home base. As a comic or as a performer, it's nice to have your own home base show, because then every week you can hop on stage, you got a place to go. And the nice thing about it is you have a spot that you can then give opportunities to other performers, and you can collaborate and meet cool people. So as soon as I got here to Guelph, started looking around, I wandered into Van Gogh's Ear thinking that'd be a cool spot to have a show in Van Gogh's Ear. Annoying if you're Van Gogh, I guess, but
yeah.
So, and then the owner was there, or one of the owners, Belay. Shout out to Belay and Nick right now, and all the district. Yeah, there we go. Do we have guns that we can be firing off? That was an air horn.
I got
what?
I got that cymbal and a thunderclap.
All right. Well, we're gonna work on the sound effects division here. We're gonna have a talk about this, and later on we'll be back with air horns. To get back to the story, I went into Van Gogh's Ear, scattered at the location. Belay was upstairs working on the room, getting it ready. I guess they've been doing a big launch recently too, and I saw it and was like, "This is where the Lars Classington show is gonna be." And since the show was my idea, I got automatic host.
But you walked into the main floor? You walked into
upstairs? The main floor. I didn't even know the upstairs existed because I'm new to town. And they were like, go upstairs. There's a second room upstairs. And in a comedy show, you always want its own room because you don't want people coming and going and disrupting the show. Like a drunken bachelorette party rolls in for 10 shots of tequila. But, I mean, that's kind of good for the show, too, I guess. But you know what I mean.
Yes, I do absolutely know what you mean.
It's a great room, and if you partied at District, it's a great space. They do live bands there.
Fantastic setup, fantastic stage.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to give you an interview as well and be part of the District thing.
Yes. Second interview.
Yeah.
I'm on the radio. I'm going to be on the internet. It's great.
All right, so if one were so inclined, how do you get training to perform the comedies?
Oh, how do you get training to perform comedy? I train on the streets. You get it straight, streets. I'm street. It's all street training. You just got to hit the streets and joke it up with your bros and homies. Get in some joke battles. That's actually
fair.
Yeah. No, the real answer is really do it. Is like most things in life, the best way to do it is just to do it. Someone should like patent that as a trademark. Like
just do it.
Yeah. No, not just do it. Just do it.
Or do it to it?
Just do it.
Oh, all right.
Like just do it. Like, and then you put that on a T-shirt or something. But not just do it. Just do it. You understand? Like just
Yes.
the word do and IT.
And no period.
Or yes, exclamation point. Do it.
Exclamation.
We're going to be rich. Getting back to the question, and the question was, how would you get training? Really hit up open mics, like musicians as well. The more time you can get on stage, the better you're going to be at it. If you're looking for formal training, there's Humber College has a program where people go and do a 2-year training in comedy and writing, performing and comedy writing. I think it's affiliated with Yuck Yucks too, so you end up getting stage time at Yucks, like kind of an inside track. Second City, and there's a new place in town here, the Making Box. Jay Reed and his crew of improvisers, they do some improvising training, and I know they're going to be offering courses there too. So,
have they been doing some stuff at the NAF?
They have, yeah. They've been doing some amateur shows, and speaking of that, Jay Reed from Making Box, he's going to be one of the opening acts, along with Rick Mattingly, who's also affiliated with Making Box, and the Making Box Improv Brigade. Not an improv team, not an improv troupe, the Improv Brigade.
It sounds kind of scary.
It is a bit scary. That's why people should come out and see what's going to happen. I think there's going to be, it's going to go down.
Also on the bill, Paul McCallum.
Paul McCallum is another local up-and-comer. I've actually done lots of shows with him. I've done shows at Club 54 with him, and he shot me a message and said, "Hey, I live in this city, and I hear you're running a show. Can I be on it?" And I said, "Sure, Paul," because I'm that kind of guy.
Nice.
I'm a cool dude. And I should mention that if you're a U of G student and you're into theater, you're into musical comedy, improv, stand-up, whether you've done it before or whether you've always thought maybe I'm a funny guy and I should try it, hit me up at larsclassington.com, shoot me a message. I can't guarantee when I'll get you the spots, but what I do is aim to have openers from the local area on the show. That's always a fun part of comedy, and I like to be able to provide a good stage for that. And then you can say that you've opened in a pro show for a professional headliner, and you'll learn a lot from the headliner that's booked.
And that goes on your resume and so on and so forth.
Right.
And it's also, he's going to be doing it every week,
Yeah.
every Wednesday. So
Every
you got to wait
Get
once
used
a
to
month.
it. Every Wednesday. This is just the thing, if you're listening, that is now the thing you do on Wednesdays. I don't know if you have other things that you do on Wednesdays, but between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Wednesdays, you're at District for the hottest thing in town on a Wednesday. The Lars Classington Show.
The Lars Classington Show.
LarsClassington.com. I'm really good at plugging things and shouting out. Shout outs to District.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I was sorry. I had one more here that I was going to do.
Is that a sound effect?
Yeah, you can't hear it because
I don't have my headphones
but
on.
when you go to cfru.ca and you get the and you get the archive, you'll be able to hear it. And I'm going to just turn that down now. So yeah, larsclassington.com is a really interesting website if you want to get a good feel for Lars, which in itself is not something that. Well, actually,
you
yeah,
gotta
everybody
feel
wants
it for me.
wants to feel Lars. He's
plenty
a
of me to go
mountain of a
around.
man.
Yeah.
He makes my large Underplayed and Underpaid T-shirt look tiny, which you can go on the Underplayed and Underpaid Facebook page and click a like on that because
You can see our picture. Did we already post them?
it's already up, man.
If you're listening to us right now, you could also be looking at a still photograph of us while listening.
Yeah.
All
And
of a sudden,
I haven't
it's just-
tagged you, though.
We take it to a whole new level.
We don't got time.
Okay, sorry.
We'll tag it right after the show, and you guys can all have a peek at Lars and the beautiful lime green, that beautiful color that washes everybody out.
Beautiful.
Makes me look like I'm about to throw up.
I can't wear this in front of a green screen, or I'll just look like I'm a floating head with legs and no torso.
Would you
know
still
that-
see the actual logo?
You might see the logo, but the rest of the shirt, if you wear a green shirt in front of a green screen, you become invisible.
That's amazing. I want to do it now.
We should do it.
Yeah, we should do it.
We'll do it at the Lars Classington Show every Wednesday, 8 p.m. at District, 10 Wyndham Street, above Van Gogh's ear.
$10 with prizes and sponsor gifts. All right, so well, did you want to play a song? How about
Ooh.
we give the listeners a
I
little
would love
taste
to play a
of
song.
one of your comedic ditties.
One of the reasons I came to Guelph, again, as I mentioned, was for love. And so I thought, as my introduction to Guelphians,
Guelphites,
as I thought I would sing a love song. And this song is the love song that I wrote. It has a 100% seduction rate. So if you're listening right now and you're in a healthy relationship that you've been in and you want to continue, you need to leave the radio or turn it off, because by the end of the song, you're going to be in love with me, and I don't want to be known as a homewrecker.
On Underplayed and Underpaid.
Oh, yeah.
I said maybe later you and I could flirt, and then screw, oh I wanna screw you, I wanna screw, I hope you do too, let's screw, oh I'd love to screw you, 'cause you're a very pretty girl, you're a very pretty girl, you're a very pretty girl. I really like you and I hope you like me. You're a very pretty girl. I really like you and I hope you like me. Maybe later we could see a movie. Yes, maybe later we could see a movie. And then and you can and we can 'cause you were a very pretty girl. You were a very pretty girl. You were a very pretty girl.
Thunderous applause, cannons, lasers, light, smoke, cannons, lasers, confetti, cannons, smoke, lasers.
That was Lars Classington with the song Pretty Girl, and you can catch Lars every Wednesday at 8 p.m. at District, which is the second floor of the Van Gogh's building, with the Lars Classington Show. It's a variety show, and do you want to give another pitch?
It's a weekly comedy variety show featuring professional and local up-and-comers doing sketch, stand-up, improv, and musical comedy, and me doing my thing emceeing. I like to get fired up. I like to fire up people. If you come out, you're probably going to be chanting a lot if you're in the audience, at least a few times. There will be a point in the show where you look at your friends and be like, is this guy going to continue to make us chant? Why are we chanting again? It's the fourth time we've chanted tonight, but it's going to be fun.
All for $10, and you get gifts and prizes.
Yeah, there's going to be some sponsor giveaways. No cars or trips quite yet, but some coupons, little things back, some door prizes.
Okay, well, that actually leads me into one of the questions that I wrote down here. So, have you performed, have you yet put an album out, or have you yet been filmed for a comedy special?
I have been filmed. I was on Rogers TV on a show called Can You Make Them Laugh? I haven't done a full special, though, if that's your question, and I'm waiting to do that right now. I'm actually going to put it on an album. I don't know about the timing of it, when it's going to be released, because right now it's all sort of pre-production phase, deciding what songs are going to be on it. It's going to be comedic songs, but it's also going to be sketch comedy, some fake commercials. I would do one of those right now.
All right.
I also make little jingles and stuff. No guitar on this one, but this is just a theme song for a TV show that I'm going to start.
All right.
You ready?
Spin away.
It's called Me and Me Moths, and the show format is about a guy and his friends, except his friends, they're not people, they're moths. Never been done before.
Okay.
Think about it. When have you ever seen a show that was about a guy and his friend moths?
I can't. Not off the top. Go ahead.
You will soon. Here it is. This is a theme song to Me and Me Moths. The beginning goes, boop, 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 boop. Me and me moths and me friends, that's you. Doing the things me and me moths like to do. Oh, we're having so much fun and we hope you are too. It's time for me and me moths. It's time for me and me moths. And then the guy comes out and he's like, oh, hi, and welcome to Me Moths. I'm me, and these are me moths. And there's a bunch of moths around him. Not the best song to sing on a radio show, granted. But if you're at home and you got a good imagination and you can imagine a dude that looks British with a bunch of moths flying around him that he's having a blast with, that's the show.
Sounds like this could be a cartoon, like,
Me
Tosh, Daniel Tosh
Kids love
did
it.
Brickleberry, so this could be your cartoon.
Best thing about Me and Me Moths, the moths often die, but moths are very cheap.
Yes.
Way cheaper than actors. No offense to PETA or moth enthusiasts out there, but they are better than a dime a dozen. You can get way more than a dozen moths for a dime.
I'm not even going to start going in that direction.
It's a great show, anyways.
Sounds like
Me Moths.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be amazing. This is my first real comedian on the show,
You're
so
overwhelmed right
I'm
now.
totally overwhelmed.
Me and me,
and I love
moths
it.
And me friends, that's you. And then his moths are there, and he names them. So he's like, oh, hello, this is Gary. He's my favorite. Gary's a little upset today, though, because he lost at the soccer game. Oh, hello. Oh, look, it's Agnes. She's actually my favorite. Hello, Agnes, time for your bikini. And the moths, right? So, and at the end of the first episode, oh, hi, it's time for me and me moths to go scuba diving. And then they all go scuba diving, and he freaks out. He's like, oh, no, me moths, stop filming. They're dying. Gary, Agnes, no. It's riveting.
I can't wait to see this. It's going to be a good time. Actually, that's going to be on your album, so make sure that
be on there.
you
A little
keep
bit of Me and Me Moths.
keep your ears to the ground for that. Make sure you come out every Wednesday, because I'm sure once it's done, you're going to be selling your album.
Yeah, we're going to have stuff available for sure.
And maybe even draws at the shows to come out to your eventual taping.
Exactly.
That's great. Musical comedy. What are your original musical influences?
Like straight music, or
like regular music,
not musical.
Because
not comedic music.
You could definitely hear in the song that you performed. You could hear an influence of Adam Sandler, like you were saying.
Sure. Yeah. I would say my musical influences. I was a grunge boy in high school. So Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Soundgarden. But then I went to university, and you start clubbing when you're in university. So then it got into like hip hop and dance music and house and things like that. Some beats. That's my beat.
That was beatboxing by Lars Classington.
I can do it all.
That reminds me of the last chapter of Johnny Rotten's book that I read. Rotten, No Irish, No Blacks, No Dogs. He really digs into the electronic music scene. It's awesome. You should check it out. It's a fantastic read.
I've done some rapping too. I'm big into rap.
You're big into rap?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to beatbox. Do we have a beatbox sample? I got a drum roll. That's all I got.
How about I just freestyle a little bit? It's not freestyle. This is written. This is from a song I wrote called Sexy White Guy. Okay, I got to get rap into my rap persona. I'm not going to play the guitar, but...
okay.
Here we go, yo. Like a river I flow. Hop on my tracks. My train blows the show. Something, something, something. I forget my own lyrics, guys. But it goes something like this. Let me back it up. But that sounded pretty good, right?
Yeah, it did.
Like for a second,
a little rusty.
Yeah, I'm mostly more country now. Rap's too fast for me. But I'm a white guy. I'm not black or brown. I didn't come from the hood. I never hustled downtown. I'm just a white guy trying to get some play. Grew up in the country doing chores every day. You better call for help. Say Mayday, Mayday, yes. 'Cause I sink your ship when you hear my shit. I'm like Clark Kent. Then I flip the script in a phone booth. Now I speak the truth. I'm no stupid man. I ain't stupid, man, but I can throw some words together. Just give me a beat. I used to live in Alaska. Now I bring the heat.
Did you actually live in Alaska?
I'm a white guy. I did for 3 years.
Really?
Yep.
Does that have anything to do with the insurance?
Yes,
Yeah?
it does. That was the reason I was there. Yeah. Most people go to Alaska to catch fish or climb glaciers and hunt bears. I went to sell life insurance
To the people
to the
hunting
people
bears.
who do all those things. Yeah, no, I ran an office in Anchorage, Alaska. It was amazing for 3 years. Traveled all around the state. I've been. You ready for this? I've been to the northernmost Denny's in the world,
Oh my goodness.
and I have a T-shirt that says so.
Yeah.
So just in case I ever get in a barroom brawl and someone needs me to prove it, I can bust it out.
Is that on the front or on the back?
I think it says Denny's, the northernmost Denny's in the world. Fairbanks, Alaska, if you're wondering where that is. And Coldfoot, Alaska, now that we're on Alaska facts, Coldfoot, Alaska is the last place in North America that you can get an alcoholic drink legally.
So if you're going to Alaska, make sure that you write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Coldfoot.
Coldfoot, Alaska.
Seems like a fitting name for
Very.
the last place you can get
Yep.
booze. All right.
There's a lot of amputees in that. Cold feet. They turn black and they fall off.
You do come from a theatrical family. Do you also come from a very musical family? Actually, yeah, you're already into that because your dad was a
My dad
crooner.
was in a band. My brother is a bass player.
Right.
My other brother is a drummer. My mother was a singer.
Are you
as well.
are you allowed to say the names of the bands that your brothers are in?
Right now, they're not active. So my brother's basslarson.com. He's a bass player. When you see him, you'll be like, yeah, that guy's a rock star. So you can look at basslarson.com, but no active band, just a solo work right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where have you performed your stand-up comedy?
Pretty much all over Ontario. So at the comedy clubs, Yuck Yucks, Absolute Comedy, Comedy Bar. I do a lot of bar one-nighters. So you're out in the who knows where, just a bar's booked you for the night. So you might be in Sault Ste. Marie, you might be in Laveen, all the hot spots. The coolest place that I performed was the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, right on the Sunset Strip, and the Hollywood Improv, too. So,
What was your biggest audience?
biggest audience was 900 people.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. It was outdoors, and it was basically a talent competition. It was early on. It was the male version of a bikini contest, and I was one of the males, and the only male that didn't have a six pack. But I made up for it in my talent, which was performing, and I sang some songs and stuff, and I got second place.
That's great.
Yeah.
Performing outdoors, doing comedy outdoors, how is that different? What other angles do you have to worry about? You know, like was the sun setting down behind the crowd right in your
Rain.
face?
You got to worry about rain,
Yeah.
mainly. Weather, rain, sun. It was at night, so there was lights. It was actually wicked. It was a patio bar at Barney's in London, packed, full of screaming girls, and we had a mini stage. It was great.
Tell me, is that where you came up with the moth idea?
No, it isn't. But
That kind of sounds like it would be.
I wore a shirt that said, I think part of the reason I got second place is I wore a shirt that said, I shaved my balls for this, like with a question mark on the end. It was one of the greatest shirts I've ever owned.
Right on. And is this one of the things that you're going to have available at your upcoming Wednesday night shows? Is these particular?
We're
shows?
definitely going to have merch available. I don't know if I'll have shirts that say I shaved my balls for this on it because, they're hot commodity. So, but if the people want them, if you come up to me and say, "Hey, Lars, I've been coming out to your show. I would like to be wearing a shirt that says I shaved my balls for this, so that I can show the people around me that I'm disappointed with the fact that I shaved my balls in this venue," then the answer would be yes.
All right. Now, I'm just really curious as to the design of is your face going to be on
Just
it
words.
going like
Only words. No, nothing crazy. Don't, come on. This is a clean show. It's actually a family show. We're kind of joking around a little bit here, but it's not a family show. It's a 19-plus show, but people are going to have fun. That's the main thing.
Every Wednesday, starting at 8 p.m., Lars Classington Show, stand-up, sketch, improv, and musical comedy at District. That's the second floor of the Van Gogh's Ear. And, it's going to be a great time. Make sure you check the archive. If you're just tuning in, check the archive at cfru.ca/recording/11. And that's my show. What's the most memorable thing to happen at a gig?
Oh, the most memorable? There's too many to forget, I'll tell you that much. I don't know if nothing really crazy has happened in any of my shows, because right now I don't have, if it did, I would have like a glaring answer to this, like one thing would definitely poke out to my mind, but... You
did mention, a group of bachelorettes.
Oh, yeah, that's always fun.
Did that ever happen?
Yeah, it did happen, actually. I did a show in Collingwood not too long ago, and there was a bachelorette party that booked the first 2 rows. So the first thing that happened was right in front row was 10 really drunk bachelorettes and their friends.
But that must have been distracting.
It was extremely distracting, but it actually worked out all right. I think you got to kind of dance a fine line of, can I engage these people all night? Can I tell them to be quiet? Because really a group of screaming women is going to run the night, really. Yeah, I can't compete with that.
And so. It didn't give you more material? It actually took away
it did.
From,
I spent the whole night on them. Yeah, for sure. If not for them, it would have been a much more boring show, I think, because they were gold. They were amazing. By the end, they loved me. I think they wanted to hire me for like a private show afterwards, too.
A private bachelorette show.
Double my money, little magic mic. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll ask this one because it's kind of a plug for Funny 820. Is any of your stuff yet to be on Funny 820?
I'm not exactly sure. It's hard to keep track of as a comic because sometimes you're recorded at shows and then they slice those up and then they put them on air. I know I've done a lot of shows, the Alt. Comedy Lounge at the Rivoli in Toronto. Their Monday night shows, they tape and slice up and put on Sirius XM. So I believe I have some stuff floating around on Sirius XM. And I've been on Humble and Fred performing a few times too, and they're also on Sirius XM too. So
super cool. Yeah. So Funny 820.
If you hear me out there, then yeah, that'd be great. But
second favorite.
The checks aren't rolling in yet, though.
Not yet.
The residual checks, they're not happening yet. So.
Oh, okay. So are you signed up with SoCan? Does SoCan help with the comedians too?
Yeah.
All right. How about you tell some of that information to the listeners if anybody's interested in the comedy?
I think it just means that when we get played, we get paid eventually. Is that what you mean? Oh, underplayed and underpaid. Yeah. Great.
See how we did that?
Yeah, I didn't know. He was winking at me here saying, look at my shirt, read my shirt. I totally missed that. You queued that up, and I could have knocked it out of the park.
Maybe next time. Because I hope that I get to have you back.
Yeah, I would love to have you back.
This is an official.
At the Lars Classington Show. I will have you at Lars Classington Show.
And this is an official, but Lars Classington might also have a radio program right here at CFRU in the very near future.
That'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
Keep your eyes to the ground and your ears out as well. Do you want to play another song?
Yes, I would love to play a song.
Okay, you want to tell listeners a little bit about what it's about first?
Yes, this is... I'm in a band. I'm not just a solo act. I'm in a pretend band. Let's just put that out there. But it's real, but it's pretend. But it's a real band, and the name of our band, get ready, is Delusions of Grandeur, the greatest band of all time. Yes.
An Underplayed and Underpaid.
And you can look for our debut album on iTunes and on YouTube. It is not there, but you can look for it. I'm not the boss of you. We are delusions of grandeur. We're the greatest band of all time, time. We are delusions of grandeur. We are the greatest band of all time, time. Even in dinosaur times, oh, we were the greatest band. Yes, even in dinosaur times, oh, we were the greatest band. The T-Rex played the drums. Do it with his tiny arms. Do it like a T-Rex, yes, more ferocious. The T-Rex played the drums.
tiny arms. The T-Rex play the drums, and we were the greatest band of the dinosaur. Times, 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 time. All of it, all of time, all of time, all of time. And I know there's a lot of time, but we're the greatest band of all of it. The greatest band of all time. And I know right now one of you is thinking at home, really, Lars, you're the greatest band of all time. What about in the future? How do you know you're still going to be the greatest band of all time? And I would say to you, listen to this next verse that we wrote. Even in futuristic times, oh, we'll be the greatest band in your face. Yes, even in futuristic times, oh, we'll be the greatest band. The robots will play triangle with their robotic arms, and they'll go boop, 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 beep, beep, boop, and I'll go boop, bop, beep, boop, beep, 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 'cause we're robots. We're the greatest robot band, and we'll be the greatest band in futuristic times. Oh my God, that was amazing. Woo! Yes, there they are. People were so stunned that they didn't quite realize they were supposed to erupt.
Yeah, that was incredible. Thank you. And everybody, you're listening to Underplayed and Underpaid, University of Guelph Community Campus Radio, 93.3 CFRU. My first real comedian. Second comedian, first real one. You can go through the archives of CFRU and check that out as well at cfru.ca/recording/11 and go through, and there's all kinds of really crazy stuff. Some of your favorite Guelph bands have all been on my show. I guarantee it.
Kudos to you for doing that too. You're a local hero.
Aww.
You are.
Well, thank you.
Giving opportunity to people. This is great. And thank you to University of Guelph as well, because this is a fantastic facility that you're sitting in as well.
It certainly is. And Christopher Curry and Alexander Remington, whom you met on the way in.
I met on the way in here.
And everybody else.
Bang-up job.
That's involved.
I should mention, since I just played a snippet of Delusions of Grandeur, the greatest band of all time, if you're listening to that and you're like, how do I get into the greatest band of all time? Every week at the Lars Classington show, one of the unique things about my show is it's a little interactive. You'll have the opportunity to audition for that band. So if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I would someday like to be a robot and play the triangle, or I could pretend to be a dinosaur and play the drums, then come on out Wednesdays, 8 p.m., and you can get your shot.
That's an awesome idea. I think that's an awesome opportunity for you, the band, because those guys do everything. So why not also get involved with this comedy, which will become classic.
Classington Classics.
Yep. What's your favorite comedian that you've shared a stage with, Lars?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I would have to go with the headliner of the first show, hence the reason that I booked him. October 1st, your pro headliner is Mr. Jeff Leeson. Mm-hmm. Jeff Leeson. Notice how every time I announce I wait for, like, I'm at home, I'm thinking everyone's applauding. Jeff Leeson, wait a beat. And actually, Jeff, I've done tons of shows with him. I've toured with him. He's hilarious. He's one of the few comedians where almost his entire show, if not almost, but large percentage of it is completely improvised based on crowd work. He's dubbed the king of crowd work. A lot of comedians have material or certain topics that they might hone and craft. Some people to the extent of verbatim, like you could see a guy this year and see him next year, and verbatim, word for word, it's the same act.
Yep.
Most guys switch year to year now, but Jeff, one of the crazy things that he does is he uses the audience. He'll have conversations with you, and then at the end of the night, kind of a wrap up, and you feel like you've met a bunch of people in the audience, and he's gone on hilarious rants. So he's a fantastic performer, and that's why I got him.
Super cool. Can't wait. That's this Wednesday, October 1st, second floor of Van Gogh's building at District. $10 and you get prizes and sponsor gifts, etc. And I mean, it's going to be 2 hours of jam-packed entertainment.
We're going to put it in there. Yeah. I think that we're going to record some of it. They've got some video. They're going to be doing some interviews. Mm-hmm. It's going to be hype, as they say. If you're listening to this and you want to see something hype, then you're listening to the right thing.
Gio.
You
need the hype man. Gio.
Yeah.
Your favorite overall comedian? Doesn't have to be Canadian, doesn't have to be musical.
It's like a toss-up between Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, Chris Farley, I would say. Yeah, it's a toss-up. I can't.
Very specific.
If you're like making me pick one of all time, like throughout my entire life, who, if I could save one and had to have all the others killed, I would save Jim Carrey, I think. I notice how I even said "I think" at the end. I said "I think" still
Because you don't want to burn any bridges with the other guys, right?
Yes, I'm sorry, Will Ferrell and Chris Farley.
Well,
I'm real sorry about Chris Farley, but yeah. Yeah.
when it comes to your material,
There's so many good ones. There's so many, and I'm not even sorry to cut you off like that. That's a hard answer to question to a hard question to answer because there's so many hilarious guys. There's a million guys that are no-namers but are hilarious as well. That we've all like everyone does work with guys and you cross paths with guys, and it's not a guy that's on a sitcom, but it's a guy that's hilarious. So shout out to Canadian comedy in general. Really is what that was.
have you ever been a fan of the darker stuff like the Greg Giraldo, the Bill Hicks?
Yeah, they're great. It's performance. Everyone has their all. I don't really have that dark side to me, I don't think. But I'm more light and happy-go-lucky. But I appreciate when people have had really messed up lives and they can go up and talk about it.
There you go. And you're going to get some of his bright and sunny comedy
I
on
make
Wednesday.
up stupid jingles and goofy songs and run around and jump up and down, guys. It's not brain science.
Brain science. Comedy rules. Do you have certain things that are off limit to you that you will not touch? Religion or?
I don't really have anything like that's a fast rule, except that I have to think that it's going to be funny. And so there's some topics, some race stuff, some sexual stuff. There's things that I don't think I could pull off making them funny and not making them something that's awkward for everyone standing there. So I don't really go that route. I don't think anything can be off limits if it's funny, because if you put limits on it, then you're putting like shackles on art and performance. So... But me, I stick with stupid jingles and funny songs, and I jump around and make funny faces. That's what I do.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did I answer your question?
I did.
That's a deep question.
Yeah, it's great. Great answer to that.
I just don't. If I don't think I can pull it off, I don't go there, and I don't want to talk about heavy stuff.
All right. Now, on the topic of hecklers, do you get heckled? Is it a big situation? Like, does it happen all the time, or only in certain towns?
First of all, I know this is a radio show, but look at me right now. So if you're on the website, look at my picture, and that will answer the question, do you get heckled very often? I don't get heckled out loud because I think someone will be like, that Viking might come down and behead me with his Viking sword. But really... Never negatively. If it depends on how you classify heckling. Some people say heckling is like hate, like something, you suck and you're a loser and you're not funny right now. You should get off this stage and kill yourself. Like that's a heckle. But some people also classify like, woo, like that. They'll classify that as a heckler, where it's just a drunk girl screaming stuff out. So I actually encourage interaction. So I get a lot of. Like, my stand-up act isn't one where everyone is silent and I'm on stage, talk, laugh. There's a lot of back and forth. So I think people are a little more vocal at my shows, and that's my fault for encouraging it, but not much hate. One guy did tell me that I was terrible and I sucked. But I think he was just drunk and he really felt bad about himself. He was just having a bad day.
So then you refrained from...
He told me afterwards... I said, I want you to know I've heckled the best. So he said he heckled Rodney Dangerfield somewhere. So I was like, all right, I'll take that.
That would have been awesome to see too, right?
And then he just put his head back into his face in his lap at the bar. He was literally, he had his, I will never forget this, I'll explain it to you. I was at a show in Pickering at a bar, and I was the MC, so I kick it off, I open it. And I opened it with a flurry and a frenzy, and I get people are clapping and having fun, and this guy raises his head out of his hands. He had been like passed out drunk on the bar,
arms folded,
arms folded, looks at me like just with a look of death, and is like, you suck, you're terrible. And like out of nowhere, he was the only one who did that. And all I did was, I had only done if you come out to the show, you're going to hear this, I had done the theme song for my show when I MC was, it's the Lars Classington Show. It's the Lars Classington Show. Boo ba 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 ba. It's the show that Lars Classington's on. It is the Lars Classington Show. It's the Lars Classington Show. It's the Lars, it's the Lars, it's the Lars, it's the Lars, it is the Lars Classington Show. To thunderous applause and one guy saying, "You suck."
I forgot to do the clapping again, but it sounds to me like the first person who needs to audition for your show should be a drummer.
Yeah.
And then
Boop, bop, bop, bop.
Nate,
Yeah, right
Cole,
now
Nate Cole should be your drummer.
I got my own air drums and a fictitious dinosaur as a drummer right now. So yeah, if there's a local
Which you could
drummer,
put on the stage. There's a drum riser, too, at the back of the stage, in case you haven't seen the stage at District. All right, it's about that time of show that I go to musiclives.ca and I go over the event calendar so that Lars can refresh himself with some delicious water.
Nice.
He looks absolutely parched.
I am parched, but
So,
it's all worth it to talk to these Guelphians. Guelphites. Guelphinians. I'm changing it. Guelphinians.
All right, so if you go to musiclives.ca, you click events at the top, and a calendar pops up, and you scroll down to the end of September, obviously. So there's where we start. Today's the 29th, open stage with Dave Huber at Doogie's in Guelph, and there's my show, thank you very much. And Paul McLeod is at the Jimmy Jazz tonight. Paul McLeod of the Skydiggers. Are you familiar with the Skydiggers?
I'm familiar with Jimmy Jazz, but I'm not the Skydiggers, but I would like to check them out.
And he'll have Matt Weidinger with him, which is the guy is phenomenal, and it's going to be a great time. Also, since it's the 29th, I want to say happy birthday to my brother Blair, and also
Happy
Derek
birthday,
Hines.
Blair.
Derek Hines, the jazz singer from Kitchener. It's his birthday, too. Tuesday, the 30th, Matty P is at Doogie's in Guelph, and also Karaoke Tuesdays with Tim at Van Gogh's Ear. That's the main floor. All right, Wednesday, the 1st of October, Music Lives hosts Name That Tune at Jimmy Jazz, Britpop Night with Scott Cairns at Doogie's in Guelph, and what should be put in here, because there's going to be musical aspects to it, it's, of course, the Lars Classington show, stand-up, sketch, improv, and musical comedy every Wednesday starting at 8 p.m. going till 10, so it's nice and early at District, 2nd floor, and it's $10. Go back over the archive if you missed. I don't want to have to say it again.
We've said it a lot, guys. If you didn't get it by the end of this, then don't come. Seriously, we don't have room for you.
Yes, it is going to be packed. Thursday the 2nd, Dr. Matthew Dunn and company with Talkin' Tecumseh and Running Point at Silence. Nathan Cole's live at the Delhi Street Bistro. Mixtape Thursdays with Madam D at District, and the James Clark Institute with Kyra May at the Jimmy Jazz, and Mike Something is at Doogie's in Guelph. That's all happening Tuesday the 2nd of October. Friday the 3rd, Badminton Racket, Baby Labor, 7-inch release with special guest The Flu at Silence. That's a shout out to Dan Lowren. Gain Music hosts Battle of the Bands Round 1 at District, and Fortnite Music hosts Wilderness of Manitoba with Greylands at the E-Bar. Saturday the 4th, Third Eye Open, a tribute to Tool and Evil Empire, a tribute to Rage Against the Machine at Van Gogh's Ear. That's going to be a fun time.
Heavy, yeah.
And Gain Music hosts Battle of the Bands Round 1 at District. Also, three-way at Wolbachero. That's all it says is there's a 3-way at the Wolbachero.
That's interesting.
Also, Graham Nicholas and Your Neck of the Woods at Jimmy Jazz. I think it's legal to do a 3-way as long as it's filmed.
It's weird that you
In public.
advertise that, because no matter how much you advertise it, only 3 people should show up, right?
That's right. Well, maybe they need
technically
they need supporters.
Oh, like an audience. That's weird.
Yeah, like exhibitionists. They just can't unless they have. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, we can't go there.
Saturday the 4th, Jessica Ackerley Trio from New York City with Brent Rowan at Silence. And the 5th, Sunday the 5th of October, Kazoo number 192, Bruce Peninsula, Del Bell, Advertise all at the E-Bar, and Mo Coffee's Once Upon a Blues Sunday at the Woolwich Arrow. Stay tuned for Blues Around the Block right after this show. Mo Coffee is going to be the host. Mo.
Everyone wants Mo Coffee.
You should see his shirt. It says Mo Coffee on it, and his giant beard is in the way. I can't see the rest of it. Nathan Coles hosts Open Stage at the Jimmy Jazz every Sunday, and Dave Huber and Friends, that's last week's guest. Thank you very much for coming out. Dave is performing at Doogie's in Guelph. So that's what's going on over the next week at musiclives.ca and in Guelph. Most of it's downtown listings, but I encourage anybody who is a promoter or a club owner to get in touch with the musiclives.ca people, and it's relatively cheap to get your stuff all listed. And it's in a magazine, too. Music Lives Magazine.
Boom. You're
All right.
everywhere.
So we got 2.5 minutes here. How about we get back to the interview questions?
Sure.
Also, I want to mention that Lars is doing a comedy show tonight at the cabaret. What's it called? The Comedy Cabaret tonight at the Charlotte Room in Toronto, right?
Yep. I'm leaving the studio and driving to Toronto. It's 19 Charlotte. So if you're listening in Toronto online right now, then just walk down the street to the Charlotte Room.
So this is kind of like a warm-up.
Exactly.
Nice. Do you have a favorite pre-gig meal?
I wish I did. You asked me that question in like the pre-questions just to give me a heads up, and I was like, what kind of amateur am I? I don't have a pre-game meal. I don't. Subway, maybe, is like the most common thing, but that's not out of choice. That's just there was a Subway next to the bar or place that I'm doing a gig, and I bought a sub.
Seems like there's a Subway next to everything. All right. What sort of recreation do you enjoy?
Camping, boating, volleyball, baseball, playing guitar, watching Walking Dead and A Game of Thrones, reading.
Dominoes and darts.
So many things. Oh, dominoes and darts, and Magic and Dungeons and Dragons, and all the other cool games they play at the third floor of Van Gogh's here.
Every Monday. What's up, everybody? And Yahtzee. Can't forget Yahtzee.
Yahtzee! Yahtzee!
So you were on the Jumbotron at the Jays game. You want to tell the listeners a little bit about that, or do you want to just...
Yeah, well, I know a guy, and when you get to a certain level in life, you start to know guys who know guys who know guys, and I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who's got some say in who ends up on the Jumbotron, which is like... pretty much like being God.
All right, let's do some quick fire answers on these ones. These ones you know already.
Okay.
The last book you read?
Unmarketing. How to not market to people.
Awesome.
It's a book about marketing, about how to not market. It's really next level.
If Lars was an aroma, what would it smell like?
Musky and sweaty. And you're not sure whether you're smelling male musk or female musk. It's just a delicious concoction of them both. You don't know
sweetness.
You don't know who those people are, but you know they were sweating.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I'm going with flying. I would have to be flying.
That's
flying and lasers.
the usual answer.
Maybe? Laser eyes and flying?
Nice.
Like weapon
So
lasers?
you want to be Superman. All right, if you could have
Yeah,
dinner with anyone...
That was his thing.
If you could have dinner with anyone from any time, who would it be and why?
Such good questions. Can I have a bunch of people? I would choose like a band. Yeah. I'd have dinner with the Rolling Stones or the Beatles or something.
Oh.
Is that allowed? Or do I, again,
you
have to
can
kill three of them and only keep one?
You can do whatever you like. Well, thank you very much, Lars Classington, who's performing this Wednesday. Everybody got to come out to the comedy night starting. This is the debut night, second floor Van Gogh's building at District, $10. Seriously, it's going to be a great time. Check the archive.
It's going to be incredible. And, one of the greatest nights of your life, if not the greatest. At least, I'm going to say at least penultimate greatest night of your life.
Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Underplayed and Underpaid. I'm Bryan McNeill. Catch you next week. I don't have a guest, so why don't you start emailing me at bryancfru@gmail.com. And have a wonderful week, everybody.